Have you ever planned a trip to a place with zero expectations only to be completely blown away? That was me with Omkareshwar. Hi, I'm Mamta, and this is the story of how an 18-hour pit stop turned into a magical adventure with divine connection, unexpected detours, and yes, an adorable dog who stole my heart. And here is the scoop. I think I might be falling in love with a river. Let's dive in. Bhavesh of Adiveda in his travel series mentioned that sharing personal experiences is a form of ego. So why am I still doing it? Hopefully you'll understand at the end of the series. I landed late in the afternoon ready to quickly check out the Jyotirlinga and head to bed. There was nothing quick about it. From my hotel, Shankar View, great location, good food, I found myself on a bustling pathway lined with colorful shops and shopkeepers who seemed to have the energy of a caffeine-fueled squirrel. Shopkeepers were encouraging sales like their lives depended on it, and the devotees were either rushing or strolling like it was a spiritual fashion show. Google Maps? Useless here. The signboards either too tiny or written in a language my brain couldn't decode fast enough. Naturally, I missed the turn to the famed Jhula bridge and my inner water magnet dragged me straight to the riverbank. This is where a tiny trinket seller, no older than 10, pointed me to a staircase that looked like something out of an Indiana Jones movies. That's the shortcut, she said. Shortcut to what? Cardiac arrest? The monstrous staircase felt like a spiritual fitness test, huffing and puffing to the top with no crowd, no signs. I was rewarded with my first breathtaking view of Omkareshwar glittering against the night sky. The scene was mesmerizing if you could ignore the ugly concrete ramp facing the river. Eventually, I found my way to the Jhula only to see the temple line stretching into the eternity. I stood there contemplating the meaning of life and queues until a lady shopkeeper gently suggested I return at 5 a.m. She squashed my safety concerns with the reassuring, the shops will be already open. At 3:45 a.m. my body decided alarms are for amateurs and I woke up naturally. By 5 a.m. I was at the temple, and let me tell you, it was a spiritual VIP experience. No crowds, no pushing, no uncles accidentally stepping on my toes. Just me, the Garbhagriha, and pure unfiltered peace. The Darshan of Swayambhu Jyotirlingam, Parvati Ma and Akhanda Jyoti really hit me in the feels. It was like a moment of pure unfiltered joy and awareness, like my soul finally got an Wi-Fi connection to the universe. Standing there while gazing at the Jyotirlingam, I couldn't help but feel this deep, quiet energy vibrating through me. It was like the universe was giving me a gentle reminder. You're part of something much bigger, and yes, you will find your keys soon. Then there is Parvati Ma, radiating the serene yet powerful vibe as if she was calmly telling me, chill, everything's going to be fine, in the most majestic way possible. And that Akhanda Jyoti, let's just say if light could be a hug, this one would be giving me a bear hug of cosmic warmth. It's one of those moments where everything felt right with the world. I even managed to sit outside the main temple for 2 whole hours, soaking in the vibes and experienced multiple darshans in between. Now, for someone who can't sit still for more than 2 minutes without starting to twitch like I've had too much coffee, this was nothing short of divine intervention. I made a quick stop at Omkareshwar Mandir, which is conveniently located one floor above. Hey, talk about a temple with a view. Here you can do a Sparsh Darshan, a Jal Abhishek in peace. I took a moment to admire the swifts zipping around, building their nest at the junction of the roof and columns. The birds were busy, but I was frozen, too cold to linger, even though I had the place all to myself. Omkareshwar temple is a charming little Nagara style gem that's supposedly 5 stories high. Architecturally, it felt like someone followed the rules and then tossed the rule book out of the window and decided to freestyle. The Shikara isn't even aligned with the Garbhagriha, and the layout, well, let's just say it's like a maze designed by a person who really loved surprises. Nandi is chilling facing a blank wall, probably contemplating life's deeper mysteries. And the deity, who almost always submerged in water, is tucked away in a corner of an L-shaped teeny tiny passage. It is as if the temple is saying, enlightenment? Sure, but first find your way out of this labyrinth. A word of caution though, beware of enthusiastic entrepreneurs around the temple. They'll offer you a Jal Abhishek experience for a small fee. Anything between Rs 100 and 1100 per person. You'd think you're paying for a sacred ritual, but in reality, they're just filling up water from a nearby tap and not the river. Definitely not the divine waterfall you were imagining. And their charm could make a seasoned negotiator break a sweat. Use your wits, or you'll be paying more for water than for your entire temple visit. Post-temple bliss, I headed to Gomukh Ghat for a proper introduction to Ma Narmada. It was a chaotic carnival with people bathing, praying, and vendors selling everything from flowers to snacks. Both zipped around like they were in a Madhya Pradesh remake of Fast and Furious. I waded into the river expecting slimy rocks and regret, but nope. The water was crystal clear. The stones algae free, and fish swam around like they were auditioning for Finding Nemo. It was oddly wholesome. I lit a diya, let it float, and just like that, Narmada and I clicked.
Ragaya Maheshwaraya Nityaya Shuddhaya Digambara.
Next, I trudged up the steps to the Mamaleshwar temple. It's a quaint Nagara style structure surrounded by smaller temples, picturesque and easily connectable due to its size.
Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya.
But here's the real highlight. Outside the temple, a dog decided I was his new best friend. His eyes locked onto mine with a look of pure, unbridled hope, practically saying, "Feed me, mortal." It was as if he knew I was about to embark on my own spiritual journey, and that journey would include biscuits. We made our way to the nearby chai shop where I bought him some biscuits. Watching him munch away with the kind of dedications usually reserved for monks in meditation really made my day. It was a moment of zen. Just me, the dog, and his overwhelming gratitude for every crumb. But wait, the spiritual experience didn't stop there. As I walked around later, I encountered a whole crew of dogs, each more hopeful than the last, and one cow who happily shared a packet of Parle-G biscuits with his furry frenemies. Honestly, this gang of four-legged friends were the cherry on the top of my spiritual Sunday. Forget enlightenment, this was pure, unfiltered joy with a side of snacks.
Tasmai Shikaraya Namah Shivaya. Tasmai Shikaraya Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
I returned to Gomukh Ghat, seeking a quiet spot to dissolve into the sights and sounds of the river. Instead, I found Venice, or at least a Madhya Pradesh version of it. The vibrant boats, their loud haggling captains, and questionable life jackets made for an amusing scene. After some good-natured bargaining, I embarked on a parikrama of the island. This boat ride was life-changing. If Ganga in Kashi brings calm, Ma Narmada exudes strength and exuberance. Her water carved majestic patterns into cliffs almost reaching the peak, leaving their mark like an artist's signature.
Tasmai Yakaraya Namah Shivaya. Tasmai Yakaraya Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
At one point, the river's current pushed our motorboat backward, a testament to her might. Ma Narmada or Ma Reva was just a river to me. But now she's a spiritual journey, and let's face it, a bit of diva in the water world. Crocodiles have been hanging out in her water for a cool 2 million years, so she's not just any river. She's basically the VIP of water circuit. Narmada Parikrama is a pilgrimage that spans 3,000 kilometers over 120 days. The idea is that completing it will free you from the confines of the life. No big deal, right? But as I read about it, I started thinking how much of the ancient path is still intact. Turns out, a lot has changed. Dams like Sardar Sarovar and Indira Sagar have flooded huge sections of the river. Part of the original parikrama is now submerged under artificial lakes. The parikrama now stretches a whooping 3000 kilometers from its original 2600 kilometers. And it's not always by the gushing river, but also by calming backwaters and reservoirs. But beyond the journey, Narmada is a cultural heavyweight. Humans have lived along her banks for over 150,000 years. The oldest hominid skull in India was discovered near Hatnora. I like to imagine Narmada Man, the granddaddy of humanity, just chilling by the river while I'm out here dodging puddles. It's tough to hear about Narmada's ecological decline. The river once marked the boundary between north and south, but now it feels like history, culture, and ecology are getting blurred. I wonder what will become of Narmada Parikrama in the future. Will pilgrims wade through reservoirs instead of ancient tirthas? It's a lot to think about. But one thing's for sure, she deserves a bit more respect. By the end of the day, I realized Omkareshwar wasn't just a place, it was an experience. A medley of divine encounters, chaotic ghats, and yes, adorable dogs. They say you bathe in Ganga to cleanse your soul, but with Narmada, just a glance is enough. She went from being a river to a spiritual journey. And me, I walked away with a cleaner soul, a deep connection to nature, and the memory of a dog wagging his tail in gratitude. Omkareshwar, the charming underdog, you stole my heart. Until we meet again, may our paths cross in Ujjain.